What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast, and I'm gonna blow your socks off today. And there are very few times when I present a video where I'm doing a video and I'm blown away. And this is one of those days because you're starting to put together the picture. Now, stay tuned and stay focused on these clips and spread these or share the information. I don't care if you spread the video or not, as long as you spread the information. Because as time goes on, we see that the narrative becomes clear. Okay, so this is the first video. You guys, I've shown you guys this video, and I'm gonna tie it up all at the end.
Vaccine policy is economic policy. And it is even a higher priority than the traditional tools of fiscal and monetary policy. Why? Because without it, we cannot turn the fate of the world economy around. And it is, as Chair Powell said, smart policy. We calculated at the fund that between now and 2025, we will add $9 trillion to global output if everybody is vaccinated faster.
Okay, so if you don't put that thing in your body, you're not going to be able to participate in the economy. That's essentially what she's saying. Because if everyone, she says, has the medicine, then we can put $9 trillion to global output if we can get this done faster. Folks, how does that make sense? What, you want to print into oblivion so the prices of everything goes through the roof? If you haven't seen my last 2-3 videos, especially the one about Mike Maloney's, that once they start printing where nothing works and they just send, trillions and trillions of dollars, start printing trillions of dollars. Yeah, it might initially, people will be happy because they're probably getting money, but there's never a free lunch. Soon, you'll see the consequences of that, and you'll see the prices of things going up exponentially. So, you can expect in 2022, and I talked to my friends and family about this. I tell them, hey, if you thought this year was tough because of the medicine policy, you just wait till 22 rolls around. Who knows what it's going to look like 12 months from now? So next November, next December. Just think about what's happened in the last 18, 19 months. And that should give you an indication of how things can change drastically. Now, I showed this video of Prince Charles. And listen to this, because this is exactly how, these are the questions I asked myself. Take a listen.
He wants to garner all of the assets in the world, trillions, out of his mouth for his disposal. And he's not referring to himself. It's an other that he's referring to.
With trillions at his disposal, far beyond global GDP.
He follows that by saying, basically, the world leaders aren't smart enough to pull this off.
And with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders.
Which refers back to the his. That's why it has to be in this power.
Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector.
So he's advocating an individual, in my assessment, that's going to run in a military style, is marshaling his word again, the assets, the people, and the will to change the climate. But it's really a consolidation of power in one entity, and that's the scary part. I refer back to the word his. There's no precursor in his, I looked at the whole speech, there's no precursor to who his refers to. It's just an entity. It's a personal pronoun of somebody. It's an individual. I have a Christian background. Could be the Antichrist. I don't know. To fundamentally change the financial system. So we have cryptos, we have fiat, we have gold, we have silver, and we have countries that are printing money. The United States is the leader in that, that they don't have. Debt, 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 debt. And you can't do that. You can't run a business, a country, anything on that. So what are you going to do? Collapse it? And what happens then with COVID, with the supply chain issues, with all of these things that are all distractions, because the ultimate thing is the power grab.
It offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition.
It's the one. And I believe that man has an idea of what the one is. And a good thing.
So that's his analysis on that speech. But when you think about it, you got to ask yourself, who is Prince Charles referring to? And why does he think that even the world leaders can't fix this problem? And who is this entity that's going to take charge? Who's going to be at the helm of this? Folks, I've been saying in my videos and talking about how this all seems to be a consolidation of power. What is COP26? Well, let's get all the countries in the world that sign this, climate agreement, because it's going to shape the policy of nations in the coming years. And this will determine the fate of the world. I mean, they're not directly telling you. They're indirectly telling you that they're consolidating together to bring about global power. And you just got to wake up and realize this, because if they're not going to spoon feed it to you, you got to think, you got to critically think, use that God-given brain. You have to be an independent thinker, which lacks in most of society today. Here is a clip I ran into. This is just kind of throwing this out there, but interesting how this is from a 1991 movie called Early Warning. And just listen to what this guy says.
Doing this year's progress, let me say that we have been highly effective in conditioning the people's minds to accept our solution to the world's problems. The energy crisis here in the United States was exceptionally successful worldwide, and we expect similar success with our upcoming food shortage. Our labor leaders have made great progress by causing confusion and work stoppages in all areas of the world. The dollar is being devalued even faster than we could have hoped. Politically, the public has lost total confidence in any form of government. As you know, we ourselves do not need to hold any visible office of leadership. As a matter of fact, it's better that we do not.
And you keep seeing
We control the finances,
him
news
going.
media, food, transportation, energy. We control everything. If we continue on our present course, it is my opinion that we could present the devil himself as a world leader, and the people would accept him.
Okay. And there's that. But one thing, if you guys didn't see the video I just played, they probably removed it for copyright reasons. However, one thing I want to bring out from that clip is that he says that there's going to be strikes, work shortages everywhere, confusion everywhere. The people don't trust the governments. One thing I've been talking about is strikes and the involvement of labor unions, and how I understand that people are stuck between a rock and a hard place. But it's a slippery slope. If you continue on that path and you realize that even though I'm trying to get better working conditions, the fact that I'm striking and not working, what does that solve, especially right now with the supply chain crunch? What are the consequences down the line? You got to think about those things. And one of the things I always talk about, food, water, and shelter. Everything else, nowadays, it's not even about getting rich or making it, in terms of dollars. Nowadays, because if you don't have good access to goods or services, what does it matter that you have all that, imaginary fugazi money in the bank account? If you're limited to what you can buy and how you can buy it. Doesn't matter, folks. What matters is you having the fundamental basic needs. And I'm telling you, next year, 2022, is going to be a pivotal year because they're telling you, Kristalina Georgieva is telling you, medicine policy is economic policy. If you're not in line, you'll be left out of that. So nowadays, it's not about thriving, it's about surviving. And I couldn't be more serious than ever about the situation. A lot of people don't want to hear that next year is going to be worse than this year. But if current trends are any indication, something to be aware of. Now I'm trying to get this information. If I can change one person, if I can get to one person, then that's all that matters. And so, thank you guys. If you like this content, it's your first time on this channel, like and subscribe, share this video, or just share the information with other people because it's right there in front of our faces. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.